What if how long you live, those vibrant, active years beyond 65, wasn't just up to chance? What if your body and your life are sending out clear, scientifically backed signals right now that give clues about the decades ahead? We're not talking crystal balls here. We're talking about proven signs. Think about it for a second. Your daily habits, what's going on inside you, even how you look at life, they're all part of a quiet, unseen scorecard that's actually predicting how long you'll live. Some folks are acing this test without even knowing it, while others might be missing out on chances to add not just more years to their life, but more life to their years. And the surprising thing, some of these really powerful predictors probably aren't what you'd guess. Stick around, because we're about to share 10 scientifically validated signs that can hint at how long you'll live after 65. One of these might just change how you see your future. As we journey through life, especially into that rich chapter after 65, what we all really want isn't just a long life, but one that's healthy and fulfilling, right? We're not here to chat about quick trends or theories someone cooked up. Today, we're looking at a whole mix of things. Physical health signs, really important lifestyle choices, and even those spiritual and mental aspects that research shows can make a huge difference to your lifespan. We've dug through the science and what experts say to bring you 10 signs grounded in evidence. Some are about what's happening deep inside your body at a cellular level. Others are about how you live your life, connect with people, and find meaning. Together, they give us a pretty amazing picture of what a long and vibrant life after 65 can look like. So, maybe grab a notepad, or just come with an open mind as we explore these 10 key predictors. Let's get started. First up is something you can't see, but whether it's there or not, says a lot about your chances for a long life. Low chronic inflammation. Now, acute inflammation is like your body's firefighter. It rushes in to heal an injury or fight off an infection. That's the good kind. But chronic inflammation? That's like a fire that just smolders in the background, slowly damaging healthy tissues and organs over time. Scientists pretty much agree now that chronic inflammation is a major cause of many age-related diseases, like heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and even some types of dementia. One of the main things they check for is C-reactive protein, or CRP. Your liver makes it, and CRP levels go up when there's inflammation in your body. Study after study has shown that people with lower CRP and other inflammatory markers tend to have a biological age that's quite a bit younger than their actual age. They also have a lower risk of chronic illnesses, which is a big deal for living longer and healthier. For example, a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that older adults with lower HHS-CRP, that's high-sensitivity CRP, had a lower risk of dying over a 5-year period. Plus, other research shows that high CRP levels are linked to a greater risk of heart problems, even if your cholesterol is normal. Keeping this silent saboteur under control with diet, exercise, and managing stress is a huge step towards a longer, healthier future. In fact, chronic inflammation is seen as one of the main things that actually drives the aging process. Alright, next, let's talk about how well your body handles energy. Sign number 2 is having healthy metabolic markers. This is mostly about how well your body manages glucose, how sensitive it is to insulin, and your HbA1c levels. That's a number that shows your average blood sugar over a few months. Picture your body as a really fancy engine. Glucose is the fuel. Insulin is the key that lets this fuel into your cells so they can use it for energy. If your cells start resisting insulin, or if your body can't make enough, glucose piles up in your bloodstream. This can cause a whole bunch of problems, like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and other metabolic issues that can really shorten your life. Groups of people known for living exceptionally long lives almost always show they're good at managing glucose and have high insulin sensitivity. Keeping your HbA1c levels in a good range is a strong sign you're on track for a longer life, without the problems that come with metabolic syndrome. It shows your body's good at using nutrients and protecting your important organs from the damage high blood sugar can cause. Good metabolic health is like having an engine that's perfectly tuned. It runs smoothly, efficiently, and for a much longer time. Special blood tests can check these markers, like hemoglobin A1c, insulin, and fasting glucose, giving you vital clues about how your metabolism is doing. Our third sign takes us right down into your cells, to the very tips of your chromosomes. We're talking about telomere length and telomerase activity. Think of telomeres like those little plastic caps on the ends of your shoelaces. They stop your chromosomes, which hold all your genetic info, from getting frayed or tangled. Every time your cells divide, these telomeres naturally get a bit shorter. If they get too short, cells can't divide properly anymore. They either get old, senescence, or they die off, apoptosis. This shortening is a basic part of aging. So, generally, longer telomeres are linked with aging slower and living longer. But wait, there's more. There's an enzyme called telomerase. Its job is to repair and lengthen these telomeres. If telomerase is active, it can, to some degree, slow down that shortening process, helping keep your cells healthy and full of life. Research has found that things like ongoing stress, inflammation, and not-so-great lifestyle choices can make telomeres shorten faster. On the flip side, healthy habits might help keep them longer. It's a complex picture, and too much telomerase activity has been linked to cancer, but keeping a healthy telomere length through a balanced lifestyle is looking more and more like a key sign of your body's ability to repair, regenerate, and ultimately live longer. Some studies even hint that things we do to protect telomere length, maybe through lifestyle or even natural compounds, could help us age in a healthier way. Let's move on to a sign you can easily check for yourself: your resting heart rate. This is just how many times your heart beats per minute when you're totally relaxed. A slower, steady resting heart rate, usually between 50 to 80 beats per minute for seniors, often means your heart is in good shape and working efficiently. Some research even suggests that for healthy folks who aren't athletes, a range of 50 to 90 BPM might be more accurate. Think of your heart as a pump. A stronger, more efficient heart doesn't have to beat as often to send blood all around your body. But if your resting heart rate is consistently high, it could mean your heart is working too hard, which might be straining your cardiovascular system. Studies have actually linked higher resting heart rates to a greater risk of dying early. For instance, Danish research found a 16% higher risk of death for every 10 BPM increase in resting heart rate. And the Copenhagen City Heart Study backed this up over 35 years. Another study showed that men aged 50 to 60 with a steady resting heart rate had a 44% lower chance of getting cardiovascular disease before 71, compared to guys whose heart rate went up. Now, if your heart rate is super low and you feel dizzy or anything, definitely see a doctor. But for most active, healthy people, a lower resting heart rate is a good sign. It's like a rhythm that's in tune with a longer, healthier life. This next sign might surprise you with how much it means for living a long life. Strong leg muscles. It's not just about being able to climb stairs or go for a walk. The strength in your legs is a really powerful clue about your independence, your mobility, and even how long you might live. As we get older, we all tend to lose some muscle mass and strength. It's a condition called sarcopenia. This can start as early as our 30s and picks up speed after 50. Weak legs are closely tied to being frail, having a higher risk of falls, which can be really serious for older adults, and even a decline in thinking skills. Sarcopenia doesn't just make it harder to exercise, it makes your overall health worse and is a big factor in how many healthy years you can expect. Studies have shown that sarcopenia goes hand in hand with disability and death, and can mean longer recovery times if you get injured, osteoporosis, poor metabolic health, and less independence. A simple but telling test is the sit-to-stand test. How easily can you get up from a chair without using your hands? Being able to do this a few times, or doing the sit-to-rise test, going from standing to sitting cross-legged on the floor and then back up, shows good lower body strength and balance. Research in the European Journal of Cardiology found that the sit-to-rise test was a major predictor of mortality for people aged 51 to 80. Those who scored lower were more likely to die in the next 6 years. Another study pointed out that every increase in the sit-to-rise test score was linked to a 21% drop in deaths from any cause. Building and keeping up your leg strength with regular activity, like resistance training, is like investing in a solid foundation that will support you for many, many years. Our sixth sign isn't just about the number on your bathroom scale. It's about having a healthy body composition. That means keeping a good body mass index, BMI, yes, but just as importantly, holding on to your muscle mass. Like we talked about with leg strength, muscle is active tissue that helps your metabolism. Losing it, that's sarcopenia again, while maybe gaining fat, can lead to something called sarcopenic obesity, which comes with some serious health risks. While BMI is a general guide, after 65, focusing on muscle mass is especially key. Strength training becomes more and more important, not just for staying mobile and avoiding frailty, but also for keeping your metabolism healthy. Muscle helps control blood sugar and plays a part in how many calories you burn overall. If you lose muscle, your metabolism might slow down, making it easier to gain fat, even if you haven't changed how much you eat. Studies show that older adults who really work to keep or even build muscle through resistance exercises and getting enough protein usually have better health and a lower risk of age-related diseases. It's really about the quality of your weight, not just the quantity. Making muscle a priority helps you stay stronger, more resilient, and better able to enjoy an active life for longer. A study on older Chinese adults found that those with sarcopenia had a shorter total life expectancy than those without it. And sarcopenic obesity is becoming more common, affecting a good chunk of men and women over 60, and it's linked to disability, hospital stays, and a higher risk of death. Sign number 7 is something we all do, but how well we do it has a huge impact on how long we live. Getting enough quality sleep. We're not just talking about how many hours, though that matters. Getting a steady 7 to 8 hours a night is linked to better thinking skills, heart health, and living longer overall. But it's also about the quality and efficiency of your sleep. This means falling asleep pretty easily, staying asleep through the night without waking up a lot, and waking up feeling like you actually rested. Bad sleep, whether it's too little, too much, or constantly broken sleep, has been connected to a higher risk of dying. Not getting enough sleep can raise your risk of serious health problems like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. When you sleep, your body is doing some really important repair and restoration work. Hormones get balanced, memories get stored, and cellular damage gets fixed. Think of it as your body's essential nightly tune-up. If you're chronically short on sleep, these processes can get messed up, leading to more inflammation, a weaker immune system, and hormone imbalances. All things that can speed up aging. One study suggested that about 8% of deaths could be linked to poor sleep habits. It also found that people who hit 5 key sleep quality goals, like 7 to 8 hours of sleep, falling and staying asleep easily, not needing sleep meds, and feeling rested, lived about 4.7 years longer if they were men, and 2.4 years longer if they were women. Making good sleep habits a priority, like having a regular schedule, a calm bedroom, and winding down before bed, is a smart investment in your long-term health. Moving away from the purely physical stuff, our 8th sign shows just how much our social lives matter. Active social connections. We humans are naturally social creatures. Having strong social ties, meaning regular, real engagement with friends, family, and community groups, isn't just a nice extra. It's vital for our health and how long we live. Research keeps showing that people with good social networks tend to have lower rates of depression, their thinking skills decline less, and they live longer. On the other hand, being socially isolated or lonely is a big risk factor for dying early. Some say it's as bad for your health as smoking or being obese. One huge review of 148 studies found that people who were socially isolated were about twice as likely to die as those who were more connected. Loneliness has been linked to more emotional stress, higher blood pressure, a bigger risk of heart disease, and faster cognitive decline. These connections give us emotional support, a feeling like we belong, and often real practical help. They help buffer stress and can even encourage us to live healthier. Whether it's joining a club, volunteering, meeting up regularly with people you care about, or taking part in community events, nurturing these relationships is a really important part of a long and happy life. It's about how good and deep these connections are, creating a supportive web that helps us through the years. And it seems that emotional loneliness, especially not having a close emotional bond with someone, is a particularly damaging part of it. Our 9th sign looks at meaning and spirit, having a sense of purpose, and for some, spiritual engagement. This doesn't have to mean being part of an organized religion, though for many people it does. It's more about having a reason to get out of bed in the morning, a feeling that your life has meaning and value beyond just your own needs. Studies have found a strong link between having a clear sense of purpose, whether that comes from volunteering, hobbies, always learning new things, caring for others, or faith-based activities, and living longer with better mental health. This sense of purpose can make you more resilient to stress, lower your risk of depression, and even improve your physical health. For instance, a big nationwide study that looked at obituaries found that people with religious connections lived almost 4 years longer on average than those with no religious ties, even after considering things like gender and marital status. Part of this was thought to be because of more social activity and volunteering within these communities. Spiritual practices, which can be anything from meditation and prayer to spending time in nature or doing things that make you feel connected to something bigger than yourself, can also play a big part. These practices often help people find inner peace, reduce stress, and feel better emotionally. All good things for living longer. Finding what gives your life meaning and really getting involved with it can be a powerful recipe for a longer, more fulfilling time on this planet. Volunteering, for example, is linked to a better quality of life, especially for those who aren't as involved in religious groups, which suggests it can be another great way to find social connection and purpose. And last but not least, our 10th sign, keeping your mind sharp with mental stimulation and by always learning. You know that saying, use it or lose it? Well, it's especially true for your brain health. Regularly engaging your brain by learning new skills, reading, doing puzzles, playing challenging games, or even getting into complex hobbies is strongly linked to living longer, healthier lives. Think of your brain like a muscle. It needs exercise to stay in shape. Mental stimulation helps build up what's called cognitive reserve. That's your brain's ability to handle neurological damage from aging or disease. This can delay the start of cognitive decline and lower your risk of conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia. Studies have shown that people who stay mentally active and curious tend to live longer and have better health overall. For example, research shows that staying cognitively active throughout your life can slow down cognitive decline, no matter what might be going on with the brain's underlying health. Even short, focused bursts of mental activity, if you do them consistently, can help your brain health. Lifelong learning isn't just about stopping decline. It's also about making your life richer, keeping your curiosity alive, and staying engaged with the world. Whether it's taking a class, learning a new language or a musical instrument, or joining a discussion group, challenging your mind keeps those brain pathways active and strong. It's a commitment to growing that can pay off big time, both in keeping your mind sharp and in helping you live longer. Recent research even points out that as little as 5 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity, which often goes along with engaging hobbies, can also benefit brain health, showing how interconnected all these signs really are. Living a long and vibrant life after 65 isn't about finding some single magic pill. As we've seen today, it's more like a symphony, with lots of different factors all working together. From the quiet work going on in your cells with low inflammation and healthy telomeres, to the rhythm of your heart and the strength in your legs. From the amazing power of sleep and the energy you get from well-managed metabolic health, to the huge impact of strong social connections, a guiding sense of purpose, and a mind kept bright by always learning. So these 10 signs offer a pretty powerful guide, not just for guessing how long you might live, but for actually shaping it. Think about these areas in your own life. Which signs are already strong for you? Which ones could use a little more focus? We'd love to hear what you think. What stood out to you the most? Do you have any personal stories about these longevity predictors? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could really inspire someone else. And if you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends and family who could use it, and of course, subscribe to our channel for more science-backed tips on living your healthiest, longest life. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos about well-being. Thanks for joining us on this journey to explore some of the ways to live a longer life. Take these ideas, make small changes that you can stick with, and here's to your health, happiness, and longevity. Until next time, live well.